What's popping?
What's good, man?
Enlightenment Television. We're back. This is the Hustle Within, episode 15, season 2. Hey, we locked, man. We locked. We got a third episode. Oh my God, I can't believe they gave us a third episode, man. We doing it. The Hustle Within podcast, man. I got my guys with me. K Mills. K Mills, 652. King C Los. What it do? What's popping?
Good, man. How you doing?
Man, how's everything going?
You gonna feed the streets?
Man, gotta feed the streets, rap. Gotta get it. Man, we're gonna jump right into it, man. We gotta jump into our top 5.
Yep.
Guess what? Tonight we talking about the top 5 black successful film directors of our generation. Man, who y'all got? I know y'all got somebody. I know y'all all these movies, y'all. King Los, I know you watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
K Mills, I know you watch a lot of movies. And some of your greatest movies has been produced by young black film directors. So give me a name of who y'all think is the top, well, number 1 as the top 5 in the top 5.
K Mills, you go first, man.
Say Spike Lee.
Oh man, I probably should have went first. That was my choice.
That's a good one. Now you got to remember, Spike Lee haven't really done a movie in our generation in a while. He's more of a he's in our generation, but he's more of a when we was babies and kids when he did his movies. Now we in a whole new generation.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, King Los?
All right, so since K Mills took my number 1 pick, I'm gonna have to go with Tyler Perry.
Bingo.
Yep.
That's a good one. Now, number 5, Barry Jenkins. Barry Jenkins. All right, I'm going to run through it, and then I'm going to see if y'all know some of their movies. Barry Jenkins is number 5. Number 4, Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen. Number 3, Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And number 2, Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, Ryan Coogler.
Who?
Ryan Coogler.
Oh, okay.
I don't know him.
And then number 1 was Ava. Then our honorable mention is Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay. So
okay.
Out of them, all them directors and producers, they famous for directing and producing. Name one of their movies. I know Jordan Peele, K Mills. I know you know Jordan Peele movie.
With their cat. They got a movie with their cat in there, man.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
That was but he didn't direct that movie. That was a funny movie. That wasn't his movie. That's what
he didn't make that movie.
Around. I'm talking about his movie.
Oh.
Get Out is one of his biggest movies. Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Get Out. Ryan Coogler. One of his movies, Black Panther, one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Marvel. First black director to ever direct a movie for Marvel Films.
That's big time.
Disney. He's the first black director to direct for Disney. Marvel. All right, and then you have Tyler Perry. Y'all know Tyler Perry. Come on now, Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Madea Goes to Jail. Madea. All the Madea movies you can think of.
Family
Reunion.
It's like 20 out there, right? Like
yeah, he got like 20 Madea movies, and then he got like 20 other movies that's.
And then he got like 50 plays. Madea is
sitcoms, everything.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen and Barry Jenkins. Ava DuVernay did. She did a few different movies. She did In Between Time, I believe, with Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
One of them type of movies like that. It was like one of them. I think that was a Disney movie too. And Steve McQueen and Barry Jenkins, they did a couple movies too that was pretty big, but they not as successful as Ryan Coogler and Tyler Perry and Jordan Peele. So what y'all think about the top 5? Top 5 is beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about the top 5. And this is the month. This is the month. We call this Black History Month. This is February. You know, really, we should have Black History Year, but we'll get into that a little later. But Tyler Perry, all his movies are all minority driven movies, and I can name even the Medea Goes to Jail movie. They always have positive messages in them. They have good messages in them every time they come out. What do you think about that, King Los? The Tyler Perry movies?
You know, I mean, like, it's but so much of Medea I can handle. To be honest with you, I'm like
Right.
oversaturated with Medea. But I think I'm happy for him. I don't follow it like most people, right? But I'm happy that he's able to break those barriers and get his name out there. And most importantly, he's a symbol. He's symbolic of the struggle, right? He didn't come from a golden parachute, silver spoon. Certainly humble beginnings, but it's always good to see diversity in Hollywood. But so big shout out to Tyler Perry.
Okay. What about Jordan Peele, the Get Out movie? That's a famous.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie.
That was a great movie. That was one of the best movies. He should have got Best Director that year, but he didn't get it. He didn't get Best Director. He got nominated, I believe, but he didn't get it.
Right.
Do you think diversity in Hollywood is getting better when it comes to directing, different, having Black directors, or we still so far behind? What do you think about that, K Mills?
Man, we still so far behind, but I mean, what they say when they supposed to step on the moon? One small step.
Oh yeah, one small step for man and 10 steps for mankind. I believe it was something like that. I'm not sure, but
they won't even in the moon anyway. So yeah.
Right. And then you got Ava DuVernay, female. She's an honorable mention, but she was right there on the cuff of the top 5 of our generation. And I know she's been working with Oprah Winfrey. She worked with I think she's supposed to be doing a movie for DC. I don't know if she's going to do it, but she's supposed to be doing like War of Mutants or something, some type of big movie that's supposed to be big for DC, I believe. And she was going to be the first Black female to direct for DC. And I don't know if that's still going to happen. And so what do y'all think about that? Like, do y'all know any of her movies or anything that she got going on? What y'all think about her being the first Black female director to get a lot of recognition?
Congratulations, all I can say, but I don't watch so many movies. I'm pretty sure I watched the movies, but I wouldn't be able to name them. I watch so many movies. But it's shocking me that if Chris Tucker would have did that Friday, Ice Cube probably would be in here.
Right. Ice Cube is one. Yeah, Ice Cube is more of a big producer. He produced a lot of movies. He got into directing a little later in his career, and I think he should have did more of directing. So it's a lot of different. Like when you're looking at this category is very unique because people don't talk about these guys behind the camera. They talk about the actors. You talk about the Will Smiths, the Martin Lawrence, the top actors, the Denzel Washingtons and stuff, but you don't talk about the people that actually direct them. Antoine, what's the name? King Celos, Antoine Fuqua or something?
Yeah, Fuqua, something like that.
Okay, yeah, he's big too. He did a lot of movies for Denzel Washington, and I think he's he was in the top 10. He wasn't in the top 5, but he's the top 10. Because the ones that's in the top 5, they won Academy Awards. They won so many different Golden Globes and these different awards and stuff. But man, we got to start acknowledging these people behind the scenes, man. This is beautiful. It's beautiful to have these guys behind the scenes making history. So, man, with that being said, we got to move. We're going to move right into the second segment, man. The second segment, we got to talk about why we got to look at different things, man, in the second segment. We got to look at should Black history be more than just a month? we got to start celebrating Black history throughout the whole year. I mentioned it a little bit in the first segment, but this is the shooting the breeze segment. Segment 2, we got to talk about, this is something that's real big on my mind, my heart, because I'm African American and I want to talk about it. And I got 2 co-hosts that's also African Americans. So we need to really talk about why is Black history only 1 month in February. Even though that's the best month, that's my birthday month. Still the best month, but it's still, we need more than 1 month. We need to celebrate every year, all year, Black history. So K Mills, King Los, tell me, man, talk to me about it. What do you think about it? Black history.
Well, I mean, I look at it from 2 different perspectives when I start thinking about it. I'm also passionate about our history. But what you see and what you read may not be absolutely our history. And what I mean by that is somebody else writing it, is somebody else producing it, is somebody else directing it.
Right.
And what they depict, what their vision is of what living in America for Black people, what that looks like. So I don't know about stretching it out the entire year because we can't even get February right.
Shortest month, right? Shortest month.
Shortest month. And then secondly, again, back to what I just said, is that it's somebody else highlighting what they perceive as heroic Black figures.
Right.
It's not is divisive and as polarizing as he is. I'm about to go. Listen, I'm gonna start over, right? I'm gonna go on my AC Brown for you right now.
Not AC Brown. Hey, don't get that AC Brown. No, this is Adidas. This ain't AC Brown. That's my fault. This is Adidas. I got the wrong hat on.
I love him. I love the way he delivered his messages. But really, I mean, just in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that it's really not our history. We're not narrating what's being said. We're not involved. There's so many other people that we don't even know about, that the American people don't even know about, that have contributed to our culture here living in America. And as I was mentioning, some polarizing figures, but impactful figures, right?
I think we all American history.
Right.
I think in my opinion, American history. I think King C. Los is American history.
Tupac
Ant-Man is American history. Doc P is American history.
Right? Doc P. Yeah. Just kind of thinking about some of those people that, again, Pac was polarizing, but he was also, impactful in terms of, Black awareness, consciousness, do the right thing, build yourself up. Don't lay down and just get slapped and turn the other cheek. He wasn't about that, And I think we forget, like, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's our history, know. And I think when you start talking about Black history in schools, I don't think it should be taught. And I say that because it's not from us, right? It's from someone else. And if you can't allow the real history to come out, the good, the bad, the ugly, no matter who it taints, who it makes look bad, example, we talk about in all seriousness, we talked about Thomas Jefferson. They always talk about him doing all this stuff with the, the Constitution, being one of the presidents, founding fathers, but we don't talk about some of the, some of that, that tainted stuff that they don't want us to talk about. I mean, if we could spend an entire year talking about slavery, different parts of Africa, different parts of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and all those ugly things that happen in between. That's a part of the history.
Right. So, K Mills, what do you think? Oh man, I don't turn my hat back. Look, I'm switching up history. I'm switching up on here with my history. This is hey, what do you think about it? Black history should be celebrated more than 1 month. What do you think?
Oh yeah, especially because this is like the shortest month. They should give us. They should start the year off with Black History Month and end the year with Black History Month.
Right.
So here's my thing. I want to ask this for both of you.
All right.
What is the intent behind Black history? What is the end goal behind Black history, in your opinion?
My opinion with the end goal is we need to start acknowledging current history and past history. That's why I said we have to do it more than 1 month. Because you got a lot of people that's doing a lot of great things now in current history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got a lot of people that did a lot of great things in the past history that these kids don't know about. My son and them don't know anything about. I say Martin Luther King, they'll say, who? They might look at me like, who? Who's Martin Luther King? Because they don't learn it. You have to teach them yourself. But then you also got, then you still got people that's, you know, that's coming up now. You got some of these guys, these young kids that's coming up doing apps that everybody doing, TikTok. And, you know, they blowing up the internet. They destroying the internet. Some of these kids are history. That this has never been done. The most millionaires at teenagers in history from technology. So that's history on its own that we have to start celebrating and start talking about some of these young kids that got their own businesses, some of these young adults that have their own businesses. Then we have to also look at the Martin Luther King. We have to look at the Ernie Banks that played for the Cubs, the one of the best baseball players to ever step out and do his thing with the Cubs. So, I mean, we just have to look at current and past history and just make history. Just continue to make history.
Yeah.
Because black is beautiful.
Absolutely. What do you think, K-Mills?
Yeah, I mean, I said that's why I said it's just do it in the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So like the end of the year should be like for the new blacks that accomplish something, and the beginning of the year should be like from way back where people don't remember and bring them back up, which they don't never talk about all of them. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think you touched on something, man. Like just the fact that it just kind of had my brain turning. Like we can't depend on public schools to teach our kids anything, let alone about
I tell you nothing.
history. We can't. I'm saying this out loud. We can't depend on that, right? We as individuals, as parents, you know, we got to step up and start really taking time to have time with those kids at dinner, you know, when they're tucking them in, and read them something about Black history, a Black history figure, just to remind them that you come from a really deep and passionate and rich history that didn't originate from this country, but somewhere far. And I think, you know, if you're proud to be who you are, you know, I think whether you white, black, Hispanic, or whatever, you know, the motherland is the origin of life.
Right.
This entire planet. And I think all of us probably need to, you know, save up our ducats and maybe, who knows, maybe take a trip. Go see it for yourself. Because Africa in itself is history. So I'm gonna end on that. I know we gotta move on, but those are my thoughts.
Man, the wrap up this segment, I'm basically saying we have to celebrate current and past history. And we also got to look at some of the things that's going to come down the line in the future. We got to look at all aspects of history when it comes to Black history, because we make history every day. Even in sports, I mean, you can look at some of the sports. Some, you know, LeBron James is about to make history. He's probably going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar very soon. He's going to make history being the youngest to surpass, 40,000 points or something. And
yeah, the youngest person to do it.
Yeah, 20-some thousand assists. He'll probably in the top 5. He'll probably finish his career in the top 5 in scoring, assists, and rebounds. Never been done. Never been done in the history. So that's current history that's going to probably happen in the near future. It's current history now, and plus it's going to be some near future stuff that's going to go. So we just got to start celebrating, man. Start looking at this stuff and just celebrate black history and just black pride. You know,
Well,
black
I want to
our black
celebrate.
is
I know,
beautiful.
right? I know we give shout outs, and I'm gonna switch it up because I'm about to make history. I know we give shout outs at the end of the show. I'm gonna give my shout outs right now. Big shout out to Doc P, Ant Man, K Mills, all our special guests. Um,
Yes.
big shout out just being brown and black. You know, I can't forget my Latino sisters and brothers out there.
Right.
And even white people, right?
Yeah, our
I love white
Caucasians.
people.
Yeah, some
You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean, a lot of this, we in this together. This struggle is together.
We are all
So,
Americans.
yeah,
We are all humans.
absolutely,
We're all humans,
absolutely.
man. Start looking at each other as like we creatures or something. We are human.
Yep,
We all
yep,
doing this together. We all in this fight together with coronavirus. Right now, Texas, you know, like I said, my prayers and condolences, and I just
yep,
hopefully everything get better for Texas. Texas have a lot
absolutely.
of stuff going on, and with that being said, I'm gonna move to the next segment, man. But I think this is a good segment that we can touch on later in this show. Um,
Right.
if we don't touch it until next season, but this is a good topic. So, man, we're gonna run into we got my homeboy over here. My homeboy, Patrick Mahomes, he just won a Super
Jake, my
Bowl, right?
homeboy.
K
Yes, sir.
Mills. K Mills, my homeboy. Hey, he in the building, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
He here.
hey, that's a big
He
chain
got the
on,
death row
Yes,
chain
sir.
on.
Got to
You know
feed
he
these
got the death.
streets.
He
huh?
got the death row chain. So we gonna jump into the story to tell segment, man. This is one of the best segments on the show. So I'm gonna let him take it away. K Mills. I'm gonna sip on my dirty water. Take it away.
All right, so check this out. One day, well, I was a senior in high school. My god brother was like, "Yo, will you ride me to these chicks' house? I want to see is this chick allergic to pollen."
Pollen. Oh, okay.
So check this out. I went and got clean. Oh yeah, and I had the cornrows. I had the Allen Iverson cornrows.
Oh
So I
no, I
went
Uh-oh.
and
don't
put
believe
on.
that.
Oh yeah, I went and put the chain on, earrings, rings, everything. So we goes to the chick house. He goes straight to the chick see what the pollen or whatever. Now I'm looking I'm like, who that in the room? So another chick come out. It's a little sexy little chick. She had the Allen Iverson cornrows too. So we looking at each other like, oh, that's tight. So she like, come holler at me in the room right quick. So I'm already in the room. She had on
Already.
she had the Raider basketball shorts on. So I'm like, yo, what you running, track or something? She like, nah. She like, I play basketball. I said, oh, word. So she showed me pictures and stuff. I said, okay. I said, well, show me how you post somebody up. So she
Uh-oh.
started backing me down. I slammed on the bed and Donkey Konged her.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So, we still chilling or whatever. An hour go by. I'm like, she like, yo, she said, I got a game today. I said, you gonna be able to play? She like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I'm about to slide out. So I come out the room. My god brother still sit on the couch. And come to find out, old girl was allergic to pollen because her eyes were fiery. So
Fiery.
we left. We left. Then me and my other homeboys went to the game. Yeah, she showed out. She was balling. She kept looking at me, blushing, smiling. Yeah, she showed out. But what I didn't know was she had an ex-boyfriend that she just cut off. He was on the other side watching the whole time while she's smiling at me. I ain't paying no attention. So after that, we goes to the Burger King. It's so packed, man. People all out in the parking lot. People all in the inside. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna hit the drive-thru. Let's just go in. So I go in. I'm like, nah, ain't no way I'm finna stand in this line. So I comes out the Burger King. This little Jeep pull up. It's 4 dudes in there. The dude driver said, oh, so you try to holler at my old lady. They finna jump out the car. Before they could jump out the car, I grabbed the sword.
Oh man, not Excalibur.
Yes, sir. So they slammed the door. They try to burn out. Now I'm chasing them around Burger King parking lot with the sword out. I
Oh
can't
my
get a
God.
slice. There's too many people out there. So I can't slice. So they wind up pulling out the parking lot. They almost wrecked. But they got away. But the funny thing, I'm like, yo, they thought they actually was gonna jump me in front of all them girls. I don't know what they were thinking.
Oh man. That is crazy. Man.
Yes, sir.
Man, K Mill stories, man, epic. They epic. This man got stories to tell for man. We probably go to 10 seasons. That man still got stories. More
Oh
stories.
yeah.
We got story. There's a part 2 to that story. Hey, there's a part 2 there, but I'll tell that one later.
Okay, yeah. Hey, the part 2 coming up real soon. So we're gonna take a break, man. Let me name out our sponsors real quick. Forever Young, Beauties and Cosmetics. Ladies, go shop with Forever Young, Beauties and Cosmetics. Get your all the stuff she sell online, all the stuff y'all need, makeup, hair. She do clothes. Go get your Forever Young. Then we got Captain Venture Partners. If you want to invest, make sure you reach out to K Mills and King Los, the money guys. Call them
Gotta
the money
feed these
guys.
streets.
They got it. Then we got 180 Hair Cutting Studio and Nail Spa. Man, hey, I got a hat on, but don't forget, I'm still looking pretty good now.
Yeah, you see what's
I just got a hat on. I'm still looking pretty good. So make sure you visit her. She's on 102 Hidden Pasture Drive in Camerton, North Carolina. And that's near Charlotte. You go through Charlotte. It's up by Gastonia. Make sure you go visit her. She has her own studio. Hey, when you come out of there, you're gonna be feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna take a break, man, and make sure you keep it locked. SM Enlightenment Television, The Hustle Within, Captain Brands, Captain Venture Partners, Captain Management. Keep it locked. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. We back.
It was good.
Oh my, hey, they gave us another episode, man. This is episode 15, right? Episode 15, yep. Season 2, episode 15. I can't believe they gave us another season, man. This is amazing. But check this out. We're gonna jump right into the Barbershop Talk, which is sponsored. Barbershop Talk is sponsored by 180 Hair Cutting Studio and Nail Spa. Guys, I got a good question for you tonight. What was your worst breakup? It could be a job, a relationship, or even a friendship. Starting with you, King Los.
Oh my God.
I hear you. I researched this stuff, man. I'm Oprah.
These questions. I think my biggest breakup.
It could be a job, it could be a relationship, or it can be a friendship.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably all
like
the
you got
above.
kicked out of school or something.
Yeah, this man knows me well. But no, I think if I got kicked out of school, they ain't no breakup. That's just like that's deuces. We're parting ways. But probably you start thinking about breakup, it's synonymous with like a relationship, So I guess I could talk about a relationship. My first love. We broke up. My heart was broke at the end.
Oh my God.
That was terrible.
That was terrible there, Ralph.
Yeah, I'm hurt for you, Ralph. I'm hurt. Hey, I'm hurt for him right now. My heart is hurt, man.
About it.
My heart.
Almost cried, Ralph.
I cried in the shower every night. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh man.
No, I mean, like breakups breakup is gonna happen, right? I was telling somebody this last night. I was telling a friend. I was like, she was talking to me about her relationships and all that. I was like, listen, there's 3 phases of relationships in dealing with your love. It's when you break someone's heart, someone breaks your heart, and then you have to make the difficult decision to break your own heart. Meaning that you got to step away from that toxic person, that toxic relationship.
All bash them on Facebook.
Even though you love them, man. I know some of the people out there listening, they can relate. You're like, oh my God, I just love him or her, but I gotta walk away. I gotta do this. And you're sad. You're sick to your stomach, So I've been through all 3 of those phases in my life. So those are the 3 breakups. I hope that was a much more interesting story
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
perfect.
that's King C. Los right there. That's King C. Los, I know. Look at my hat. My hat be changing every time we go to the K Mills, what it look like? Talk to me.
All right, let me feed these streets.
Feed these streets, rapper. Come on,
Mine
man.
was a breakup. So me and one of my exes, we broke up, right? So I done moved out and everything. Luckily, when I moved out or whatever, I just happened to run across a lot of money. So I bought a car, got it painted, put rims on it, and a system on it. So I'm riding around all the projects hollering. Man, I'm hollering at so many girls, but I got so many numbers. I'm going crazy, man. I'm hitting the block so hard, I'm hating myself. So I said I'm gonna ride through this one more neighborhood. Yes, sir. One more neighborhood. It was the whole other side of town from where my ex stayed at. So I ain't expect to see her. And I'm riding through there playing 50 Cent Mini Men system, just banging. I'm like, dang, who that thick girl right there?
Man.
Yes, sir. I get close. I said, oh man, that's old girl. So I'm going slow. She looking in my car, but she over there with her ex-boyfriend. So she looking. I kept moving. I rolled by. I didn't even stop. So I get home. She blowing my phone up. I never answered. So Friday come around. I done got clean, get ready to go to the club. I done got VIP for the club for everybody. Me and my homeboys, we finna wild out. The chick hit me up 3 hours before I was ready to go to the club. She said, come through. I got to show you something. I'm like, nah. She said, for real, I just got to show you something. I said, you know what? Bump it. I ain't got nothing to lose. So I go over the car clean. I'm clean, blinging, chain on, death row chain, everything. I'm blinging. And look, as soon as I go in the door, this chick got on Valentine's Day lingerie. I said, oh my God. She put it down. She put it down. So I leave. I said, I'm gonna holler at you. I leave, jumps in the car. As soon as I get about a block away from my house, my car going bloop, 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 bloop. I said, man, what is that noise? So I pulled over at the gas station before I got to the club. I paused. I'm like, man, what is wrong? Everybody like, man, I like your car, but what's wrong with your tires? Huh? I look, my tires is flat. She done sliced my tires. I don't know how she did. She had to have somebody do it, man. I'm like, yo, I'm in that Donkey Kong. Somebody had to do it for her. So I done missed the VIP and everything. So I called the chick like, yo. I said, yo, what's over there? She said, you ain't stunting no more. B, click and hung up.
Big baller brand, no more big baller brand.
That's a breakup. The girl, the car, the tires.
Man, she got me. But yeah, I got the car fixed the next day though. I got it back. I wasted all that money on VIP and the tires and everything.
Man, hey, I'm gonna make mine quick. I had a corporate job. I'm gonna talk about this job. I had a corporate job. That job was paying me like $250 an hour.
Hey, it was paying us $250.
It was paying us $250 an hour, rap. I mean, man, I was so mad. I mean, and overtime. Think about overtime, $250 an hour plus overtime. I mean, I was balling every week, and I was getting paid every week.
Hey, Kenny, you remember that?
You know what he said? Don't bring your wallet. Hey, leave your wallet home, rap. I don't allow wallets in my house. He said he don't allow wallets in his house.
I couldn't believe it. The type of money I was making fresh into Charlotte. I was fresh up here. Me, I was driving every car you can think of. Man. I was going partying every weekend, buying bottles everywhere.
I know, man.
Then they even ranked me in the top 5. I was ranked in the top 5 in the company. Highest paid 1099 contract. It was the man. I'm telling you.
That was a group.
Who are you, a rapper? Yeah.
NFL stars, rappers, Winston-Salem State.
Remember, I was the agent. But that was like a group breakup, man.
That was a group one there, baby.
Man, when they told me, I like to cry that day when they told me.
I was crying too. In the shower, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
How that song go? No more VIP.
I know.
Oh my God.
We're moving on down.
Oh man.
Hey, but we got a special guest, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Special guest, CEO. I'm gonna break it down for her resume. CEO, sports and entertainment journalist. Yeah, I'm saying wait. Yeah, she's very, very known in these streets. So she's a very, like I said, very educated, high profile sports entertainment journalist. She has her own company. It's called QOTB. So I want to bring her in, Miss Sheena Marie Quick. Clap it up. Miss Quick, what's
Ooh,
going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
what
How are you?
All right.
what a smile.
I'm trying to make sure you guys can hear me better now. I actually used the mic tonight, so
Oh,
Okay.
you got that mic. You pulled out the mic on us.
I
Oh
pulled out the
man.
mic for y'all.
Okay.
Okay, all
So,
right.
tell us about yourself. Where you from? Some of your background.
I am from High Point, North Carolina. I went to school at NC State and Florida State. I am a former track athlete. I'm a mom of three. I have three boys. Aiden will be 5 on Monday. And I have Drew, who's 13, and Trey, who is 14. Outside of sports, I am an accountant. But most of my social media following comes from me covering the Panthers. I just finished my 5th season with them, but I also covered NASCAR, NBA, and NCAA basketball. So I guess that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, I need tickets for all that. ASAP as soon as possible. So, okay, what made you get into sports? Being I guess sports and being a sports journalist.
I kind of fell into it. I've always been an athlete. Like
Mm-hmm.
as long as I can remember, I've always been an athlete. And when I stopped, my kids started playing sports. And so I started doing sports journalism, kind of like just something to do. I was on maternity leave from my accounting job. I just had Aiden, and it was just a way to fill my time, and it kind of just took off from there.
So, who is your biggest interview to date in the sports world?
I would say King Griffey Jr.
Okay.
I would
And
say
what
King
made
Griffey Jr.
that such a big interview? Like,
I mean,
I know he's a Hall of Famer.
yeah, you don't even
Baseball
have to
fan.
be a baseball fan to know who King Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
is. And for me, the interview I did with him in particular was about him kind of pioneering this athlete sneaker collaboration when he came out with the OG Griffey, the Max, what was it, the Griffey Max, something like that.
Oh yeah, I
But,
used to rock them. I used to rock them heavy.
and they came back out.
Oh yeah, I
So
used to
yeah,
rock them
I
heavy.
want to say earlier in the week they celebrated the 25th anniversary of like the most famous and popular colorway. But yeah, I would say he was probably my biggest interview to date.
Okay,
Oh,
tell
I'm
us
sorry,
about.
and Evander Holyfield. Only
Oh
Evander
God, yeah.
Holyfield because my dad was a boxer. And he actually trained with Holyfield back in the day. So that was kind of cool getting to interview him down in Atlanta for Super Bowl.
Okay, so tell us about your company, QOTB.
Well, my maiden name is Quick, as you
Okay.
guys can see. And I was a sprinter. So it's kind of a double entendre, like quick out the blocks, like fast breaking news, things like that. So one of my friends actually helped me come up with the name. I couldn't think of anything. And he was like, yo, you have to put your name in there somewhere. And you got to make a play off of the fact that your last name is Quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how Quick Out the Blocks came to be.
And what made you leave corporate America?
I didn't leave corporate America.
Okay.
Well, I do contract accounting. So I guess it can kind of be, I guess, a departure from corporate America. But when I divorced, I relocated to Charlotte and I worked with a firm. But then I thought to myself, why not just cut out the middleman? And instead of getting a salary, I can just keep it all myself. And I can have the freedom, to do what I wanted to do with my time. Because work-life balance is extremely important to me. And my older two kids are really active. They're always in season, whether it's track or basketball or football or baseball. They're always in season. And I'm a super duper active, hands-on helicopter mom. I needed that freedom to be able to do that.
And so, what have you traveled? Like, where have you traveled? Like, what area have you traveled? You feel like, okay, you would like to go back there, or it's like I guess your best traveled area.
Just on a personal level, or as far as covering sports?
Personal and covering sports.
Personally, I don't want to go back to Costa Rica. I really had a good time there. I loved it there. That was fun.
And what made you like Costa Rica? I know it's real hot out there too.
I love the heat. I hate being cold.
Okay.
I like beaches and water, even though I can't swim. But I like tropical atmospheres and just learning about other cultures through their food or whatever, whatever that may be. But I like Costa Rica. I would go back.
Okay. Now, what about the sports side? Like, where have you traveled?
Well, the coolest place I traveled as far as sports was hands down London for the Panthers game against Tampa Bay there last season. Well, not last season, but the season before last. I keep forgetting that that COVID has taken like a whole year of our lives. I keep saying last year, and I'm like, yeah, but that was cool because there were Panthers fans that lived in London. There was a huge conglomerate of Panthers fans that traveled to London. I want to say they had 2 or 3 planefuls of Panthers fans. So that was really fun being in that stadium and just being part of an international game. It was kind of cool.
Now, have COVID affected you in any kind of way from your business, I guess, from the corporate America job that you still have and from journalism?
From accounting, for sure, because people had to scale back and a lot of people were closed. A lot of places were closed. And I handle accounting for a huge spectrum of things, like from a film production company to a nonprofit church in Africa to a dentist supply office. So a lot of that stuff, when they started closing up and closing down, they no longer really had transactions and things that they needed to have done or financials and things like that. And from the sports side of things, of course, the Pro Bowl was canceled. The draft was virtual. Everything had to go virtual. So it was different, but I kind of liked it a little bit because being by myself, like post games, I have to decide whether I want to be in the locker room or whether I want to be in the press conference. Either way, I'm going to lose something. I'm going to miss something. It's just me. So I like that it's all done virtually because I can get everything I need. I mean, it takes away from the personal relationships you make in the locker room or a particular, if you want to talk to a particular player after a game because of a particular play or something like that, you kind of just, with virtual, you're at the mercy of PR. We don't know what players are going to be made available. Whereas in the locker room, we could just walk up and be like, hey, I saw on this play, this happened, you want to talk about that? So that's one of the drawbacks, but I really don't see I see the NFL kind of keeping this virtual platform for the time being. I don't see them going back right away.
No, are you planning on taking the vaccine or?
Yes.
Okay, and
I do.
so
I actually would have. What's that?
Will you say you're an advocate to take it, or will you be promoting it, or?
No, I say you do. It's a personal decision. Do what makes you comfortable. Like, I don't think people are stupid for not taking it. I don't think people are stupid for taking it. I think it's just a personal decision. You have to kind of weigh your pros and your cons. And for me, as much as I travel and then being around my kids, I don't really get sick often, but let me knock on some wood. I go years without even catching a cold, but I would get the vaccine.
Okay. King.
Why would you? Hold on. Like, look, this interview got about to go 2 ways. Are you getting the vaccine?
No, I'm not getting it right now. Still premature for me. I'm wait a couple more years, and when they got the one shot, I don't want Johnson & Johnson one. It's only 70%. I want something that's 99.
I wouldn't do Johnson & Johnson anything. Like, they're always getting sued. They stay getting sued. Then they have the talcum powder thing that was causing cancer.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, I'm not dealing with Johnson & Johnson.
Well, heck no.
No.
I mean, I have friends that have gotten the Moderna and I have friends that have gotten the Pfizer and they're perfectly fine. They've gotten both of their doses and they're fine. I have never had an adverse reaction to shots. So that's why I'm cool with taking it. And I know I've seen people take it. But if you're a person that don't believe in vaccinations or immunizations, like, I wouldn't suddenly abandon that to go get this vaccine. Some people are pro-vax, some people are anti. So I think it's just a personal decision. I won't be promoting it because it's such a personal decision. I don't want to have to cuss nobody out.
Now, what about, you think players should take it in NFL and NBA?
I think it's a personal choice. Okay. I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis. I don't think that people should be forced to take it.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think they're going to be forced to take it because they are investments?
I know the NBA ain't. The NBA is a players' league.
Right.
I see the NFL trying to force it more so than the NBA.
Right. Man, NBA, like you said, that's a players' league. So it's going to be like, all right, LeBron said, no, nobody's taking it. Nobody's taking it.
Right.
All right.
My hair is all over the way.
King C. Lowe's, you got any questions for Miss Quick?
So, welcome to the show, Miss Quick. I certainly appreciate you coming on tonight, and I appreciate you providing the background to your journey from, college athlete to the, the sports industry. So if
Now,
you
were
can
you
kind
good in
of,
track? Was you good? All American?
I was in all ACC. I actually still hold the hurdle record at NC State.
Oh,
okay,
man. Okay.
that's
Okay.
pretty impressive.
Okay.
I did a little
Uh,
something, something, just a little bit, just a little something, something.
Now,
little
you getting the
something,
mic
something.
quick?
I get that question so much. I get that question because my grandfather's side of the family, who's the Quick side, they're from Hamlet. Everyone knows that Hamlet is like that big. That's where Mike
Yeah.
Quick is from. Quick isn't a common name. Quick went to NC State. Quick ran track, but no, I'm not.
Okay. All right.
I literally get asked that so much. I was telling one of my friends, I said, next time I'm gonna just say yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mike quick for Hamlet. Yep. Okay. King CeeLo. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh, hands down, having my kids with me. I always take them to the Pro Bowl with me. It kind of doubles as our family vacation. They've made connections with pro players and coaches and things like that to where every year when they see me in other places, they're asking about my boys. And I always say that goals are more attainable when they are tangible.
Mm-hmm.
I have my middle son. He is all about football. He's all about working out. Oh, what can I do for speed? What can I do for agility? The oldest, he's a little bit more into track. He's actually a high jump All-American already. He's only 14. So that's far and wide the best part of it, being able to share those experiences with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's hands down the best part of the job.
Sweet, beautiful. That's all I had. K Mills, I'm gonna pivot to
You were
you.
grinning like you were about to come with some mess. That's why I was a little nervous. Like,
Yeah, you got. Yeah,
oh,
you.
come
You already
on,
know.
come
You must
on.
watch. You watching the show. You watching the show. Yep.
No.
You know.
Hey, y'all pretty much handled everything, man. Y'all handled it tonight. I'm just
Okay.
I'm just watching and learning.
So where do you want to travel for sports coming in the future? Like, do you want to expand your brand a little bit more
I
into
actually
baseball?
am. I am
Okay.
looking to expand the brand. I'm actually opening that up as far as the college basketball. Since I'm not in the triangle anymore, I'm going to get a couple of interns. This might sound bad, but namely women of color. I want to provide more opportunities to to people that look like me, because it's not easy cracking into this industry. So I feel like it kind of is mutually beneficial. It gets them their foot in the door. They get to gain experience and get credential for things, and I get to expand the brand. So that's the goal, is to, add some writers. I have one in New York now, but I am going to be adding a triangle basketball writer to cover Central and NC State, Carolina, Duke, and all of those places.
You know,
Okay, go ahead.
now I was gonna say, do you need some HR consultation? I know some people, just to help you out. Yeah, I know some folks. Serious.
Okay.
So you connect through the money man, K Mills or Ant Man, they get through me, I get through my people, and we go from there.
Okay. So you're gonna tell your people to talk to my people.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Bet.
So when I was saying expansion, now are you planning to go to baseball, do anything with baseball? Because baseball is they opening up the tables a little bit.
That's the only way that I will expand to baseball, because baseball is one of those systemic sports that when you glance at it, you're like, okay, the people of color are all Latinos.
Right.
There's not a lot of Black Americans playing baseball, and that's because they've priced it out so bad. That was actually my first sport, was baseball. And that's only because my uncle coached the team. He was the only person in the area that was pushing baseball. Most of the time people push basketball and people push football in our communities. And so that was actually my first sport. And then I got hit with a ball and my mom wouldn't let me play. So I had to be the bat girl and the scorekeeper. But that was my first sport. And so I actually did a piece for Revolt about lack of black youth playing baseball. And nowadays it's because it's so daggone expensive. Like living in South Charlotte, the boys played for the South Charlotte Patriots when they played Pop Warner. Now they had a travel baseball team and it's thousands of dollars. If you want to compete and be seen and be visible, it's thousands of dollars. You have to travel. You have to do travel ball. So you have to have a parent that's okay to be able to go on the road every other weekend, and that's expensive. You have to be able to get into these tournaments that you see. You see youth baseball on ESPN, but you don't see a lot of black teams. You don't see a lot of black teams.
No,
It costs to get into those things, and then you move on a little bit further and the whole baseball team is not on scholarship when it comes to colleges. I don't care if it's a Power 5, P5, Pac-10, ACC, whatever. So they're splitting these scholarships. So your parents got to be able to pay for your education a little bit. So it kind of pushes us out of the sport. Right. Unless there is like a concentrated effort, it pushes us out of the sport. So I have seen that in the last couple of months, they've committed to growing diversity in the sport. I'm all for that. They hired Ken Griffey Jr., which is another notable name. There has to be some money pumped into these communities and into these rec centers. And we need leagues. We need youth leagues. Like back in the day, everybody in that league that my uncle coached was black. But then as you get older, you start to see less black kids sticking with it. And it's because you're getting priced out. So hopefully the initiatives that they have proposed this year will actually combat that. And if so, then I'm all for MLB.
Because I mean, in realistic terminology, your top tier players in the history of baseball has always been minority black. Because I mean, you got Hank Aaron.
You got to think of everything they had to do to get there.
Yeah,
you have to be the cream of the crop because you got to be 10 times better just to get half of the opportunity.
Yep, Barry Bonds. I mean, Ozzie Smith. You got a lot.
You can't leave out Bobby Bonilla. He's still getting paid.
Oh yeah, Bobby Bonilla. Yeah, for the Mets. The Mets still paying.
He is still getting paid.
Yeah, I used to be a very big baseball fan.
Yeah,
very big. I used to follow baseball. Like I collect the baseball cards, everything.
Yeah.
And then once, like you said, they started bringing in, over here, changing the team over here, changing. They don't change owners. Tell you that.
Oh no, it's very much a good old boys.
You are not getting a new owner. You're not getting no new ownership. In the first time in the last 20 years, the Mets when they sold, and then they sold to a good old boy that was already linked to the good old boy that just left the Mets.
And you hire people that look like you. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. So because
top down effect.
Yeah, I thought Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez was gonna get the team, but they didn't even get the team. So
yeah.
So what is the future for your company and some of the things you got coming up?
What month is it? February. Well, we have the combine in a couple weeks, but that's going to look vastly different. It's not going to be held in Indy, so I got to figure out a way to dispatch people to all of the pro days that are going to go on around the country. So that's February. And that goes into March. Free agency starts the first week of March. So with the Panthers making the moves they've made to clear up that cap space today, I think they freed up about 30 million, a little bit over 30 million.
You think they're gonna get Watson?
No. I mean, everybody has their price. Here's the thing.
People can
speculate, but look, people can speculate where he's going. At the end of the day, Houston has to trade him. I don't see that happening right away. I feel like they're going to hit a stalemate. He's going to have to sit out.
No, I think they're going. I think they're going to get him because they got three. They're giving up 3 first-round picks, and what's his name? Chris. What's the running back?
Well, that has not been substantiated. That was actually a hot take from David Newton that they spent all day yesterday dispelling. That's not been offered. I mean, are they going to make a play for him? Absolutely. But from what I have heard personally from that camp is the way that Cam Newton was treated at the end of his contract, it has been weighing heavily. But like I said, everybody has a price.
Right.
That's been weighing very heavily. I'm pretty sure you know that Deshaun was in Cam's 7-on-7 camp.
Right.
As a youth. So they're very tight. And then the way they're doing Teddy Bridgewater, man, they all but threw his ass under the bus this season.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I'm used to. But of course, this is Matt Rule's first year. I always say the Panthers locker team is thick as thieves. They're like this. If anything is going on in that locker room, media will not know. And that was different this year. We actually saw Matt Rule publicly in press conferences be like, yo, we ain't tell him to do that. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he called that. He knows we don't reach the ball over the goal line. I don't know why he called that audible. Why did he call that game that play before the 2 minute? We told him not to call it. He did it anyway. So you see him having conversations with us, but those supposed to be, in-house conversations. We're not supposed to know you are disappointed. And other players look at stuff like that. Like, that's your quarterback. And they released a graphic. I don't know if it was earlier this week or last week. And it was like, oh, excited for the future. It was something weird. It had like cartoon caricatures of a couple of the players, and Teddy was left off of the graphic.
Yeah, I mean, they just gave him what, $75 million?
Yeah, they're going to take a huge cap hit. I mean, he might still be on the roster next year, but I don't think if they can help it, he will not start. But how odd and uncomfortable is that? Being on a team that don't want you, but they can't take the cap hit. So you got to think about things like that that's happening. And I mean, I dropped my podcast earlier today, Quick Blitz, and my co-host was like, "Oh, you're being shady." I said, "No." I said, I like Teddy. I like Teddy Bridgewater as a person, but Teddy did this past season. Teddy did what Teddy does. He didn't have a bad year. That was statistically his best season, but that's the thing. That's why he doesn't fit with the Panthers, is because he gave them his best, and it wasn't enough.
Right.
His career high was 14 touchdowns. This past season, he had 15. He had more passing yards than he's ever had. And he's had a good, career, but he hasn't been on a team that was QB reliant. He hasn't been on a team that forced him to be a game changer. Like the Panthers, where they are in this rebuilding phase, they need a game changer, not a game manager. They don't need to be, you can't just be a guy. You can't just be a plug and play person. You had 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. You had Mike Davis over 1,000 all-purpose yards, and you only won 5 games.
Right.
We're in every game with an opportunity to tie or score the game with the ball in your hands. So when you're a quarterback, you live by and you die by it. You get praised for the wins and you get admonished for the loss. That's just how it is. But Teddy Bridgewater did what he was supposed to do, and that's be Teddy Bridgewater. So people that are down on him and talking trash is like, he gave you what he had always given. It just wasn't enough for this particular team.
Nice.
Just saying.
Hey,
I don't think it's shady. I think it's truthful.
You're right. Hey, they doing my boy Seattle too. They trying to do Wilson bad over there too. But we're gonna pray about that. But we're gonna keep it moving.
Nah, he'll be all right. They paid him way too much.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to get out there based off his wife. I think, but that's another conversation. That's another conversation. But it was a pleasure having you on the show. Give us your shout outs and your handles where people can follow you at.
You guys can follow me at Sheena_Marie3 on Instagram and Twitter, and follow the Quick Out the Blocks page too on both of those platforms. It's the initials QOTB. Shout out to you guys for having me on here on a Sunday night, ready to kick the week off. Did someone say they had a bonus question? What's your bonus question?
No, he don't have a bonus question tonight.
How you get that smile on you? That's the bonus question. I'm just
God and genetics.
God and genetics. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
Right. And what about your team? You shouting out your team?
What team?
Okay, never mind. Hey,
no, for real though. Like, what? I wasn't being shady.
No, I'm saying
you are shady. You shady.
What? My
your team, your traveling team, your team that travel with you, your people that help you, keep you.
I travel by myself. I told you that's why I got to expand.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, shout out to the expansion, and it was a pleasure having you on tonight. And you have a good night.
You too.
Quick.
Thank you, Miss Quick.
It was a pleasure. Another great show, another great night. Guys, give y'all shout outs real quick. King Los, give your handles and your shout outs.
I shouted out early in the show. I will say this. I appreciate the co-hosts, the producers, Doc P, Ant-Man, K Mills holding it down on a Sunday night, putting in work. You already know what it is. Stay tuned, stay locked, holla.
K Mills, what you got going on?
Shout out to Doc P and Los. Gotta feed these streets.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Doc P. Shout out to King Los. Shout out to K Mills. And shout out to our beautiful guest, Miss Sheena Quick. So, hey, once again, man, this is the Hustle Within. Keep it locked. Captain Brands, Captain Marketing, SM Enlightenment Television. Keep it locked. Good night.